everyone, my name is Amy and I work here at Connections as a Communicative Disorders Assistant for the Talk to Me program, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to share books with your toddler. Reading books to your toddler is so important. It can teach new vocabulary, it can help further their understanding and their receptive language, and it also really introduces that love of reading. Now, we already have a video on reading to your child, but I did want to do another video. I get a lot of questions about what that actually looks like, and I wanted to give some concrete examples of how you can take your books at home and adapt them so that you can read to very young children. One of the most important things that we like to talk about when we talk to parents is that you don't necessarily have to read the words on the page. And actually, it's really great if you kind of adapt the book to be suitable for the level that your child is at. So for instance, this is a classic, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I know for my toddler at home, to get him interested in reading, I wouldn't read the text. So it says, "In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf." So instead, I would maybe look at that and say, "Oh, it's nighttime. Shh," and add some type of sound effect with a gesture. I would turn the page, and then I would do this another great sound effect and say, "And he popped out of the egg, and he's hungry. He wants to eat." And then I would turn the page again, and then it says, "On Monday, he ate one apple, but he was still hungry." So for my young toddler, I would either just maybe highlight one single word and say, "Oh, he wants to chomp, 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 chomp," and make a funny sound like that, and then turn the page and say, "Uh-oh, oh, he still wants to eat," just highlighting that very simple language. And it can be a way to just kind of tweak the words a little bit to make it more engaging for a young child. Another book I really enjoy is Angela's Airplane by Robert Munsch. And this is a longer book. It has lots of text, but I really simplify the story just to make it a little bit more accessible and fun. So instead of saying, "When Angela's father took her to the airport, a terrible thing happened. Angela's father got lost." For my little one, I would say, "Oh no, look at her daddy's gone. He's gone." And then I would flip the page, and then I'd say, "Oh, no daddy. Where's the daddy?" And keep it really nice and simple. I would go up to the front page, and there's a lot of text again, and instead I would just really focus on what's happening in the picture. "Oh, look, she's gonna push the button. Let's push it. Beep." And then my little guy likes to go beep and hit the little button. And just really doing things like that, keep it really simple. "Oh no, the airplane's gonna go vroom," and we usually make it fly. At the end, when it's about to crash, we like to shake the book. "Oh no, oh no." And then it crash. Oh, it didn't crash it, hang on. Crash, and then it crashed at the end, and at the end, "Oh, there's the daddy, yay!" We like clap our hands, and at the very end, the pilot is waving goodbye, and that's all how we end the story usually, is we just say, "Oh, and now she's saying bye-bye, bye pilot, bye," and that's it. So rather than reading so many words, a lot of children that are toddlers wouldn't be able to sit through a story like that. So just highlighting some fun words is a great way to use the books you already have at home. Another great type of book to use is flat books. Children really like them. I will say sometimes when you're dealing with a toddler, they often might want to rip off the flaps. So what I suggest to families, if you want, is I actually use like packaging tape, like that clear tape, and I really reinforce those tabs and put some tape on there. So if they're a little bit rough with the book, it's okay, and they're going to be less likely to rip. So flat books are really nice. You can read this story, and it's really exciting to find what's hiding behind each little door. My little guy, even, he likes to knock on the doors, like knock, 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 and then we get to open it and see who's hiding inside. Another thing that you can do at home if you don't already have flat books is that you can actually take a picture book with lots of different items and use sticky notes or post-it notes and actually cover up the pictures, and then your child might have fun taking the sticky notes off and seeing what's hiding underneath. And I know you can actually purchase glue sticks that will take a regular piece of paper, and if you add the reusable glue, it kind of makes any piece of paper like a post-it note. So that might be another great option if you don't have books like this at home. Another thing to keep in mind when reading books to toddlers is to add some sound effects, some nice gestures, and just an extra element of fun when you're reading a story. So for instance, there's this book called Not a Box. It doesn't have the most engaging pictures, but what I do with my child is I keep it really simple and try to add gestures when I can to the story. So actually, my little guy, we always go, "Hey!" I don't know why we do that. It says, hey, why are you sitting in that box? And then we turn the page. It's not a box, it's a car. And then he likes to go beep, beep and make it vroom around. Another one we do is, hey, again, why are you standing on that box? And we say, it's not a box, it's a mountain. And mountain, probably not the most functional toddler word, so we just go, oh, it's a mountain, and it looks like the little bunny's going, ta-da, so we do ta-da instead. And it says, hey, why are you squirting that box? It's not a box, and it's a fire. And then we grab our little pretend fire hoses, and we go, and put out the fire on the page. So just trying to add some type of interactive component can make it a little bit more engaging. And then any book like this, I know this is another flap book example, but we say, under my mitten, I've got my hands. And then what we normally do is we hold out our hands, or I would maybe tickle his hands or something like that, just to kind of add another element. Oh, inside my boots, I've got my... And then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna tickle his feet, like just adding something extra to this pretty simple story. Another type of book that's really great for toddlers is any repetitive story. So a classic would be, brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And it's a really predictable pattern. Another one I really like to do is Dear Zoo. So this one is pretty repetitive. I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet. They sent me and each time we kind of emphasize that. He sent me a elephant. He was too big. And then we always go, I sent him back. And then my child really likes to slap the flap shut really hard and say back. And then it goes through the whole story like that. So anything that your child kind of knows what's coming next might be a really great option for you at home. Another thing that you can do at home is look through your house and try to find props that will go along with your stories. So for instance, I know my girlfriend, she made me these keys actually, and my little guy likes to hang on to the keys, and while I'm reading this story, Goodnight Gorilla, the little gorilla comes out and he actually takes the keys and unlocks all the doors to let all the animals out at the zoo. So my little guy likes to pretend he's opening the doors and makes a little fun sound. He might go like and make a sound like that, or even might go, let's take him out and say a word like that. And that can be something really fun. It's nice also for them to have something to hold while you're reading the story. Another one is there's this Baby Shark bedtime for Baby Shark book, and my little guy really likes the brushing teeth part, and so we actually have an extra toothbrush kicking around, and he really likes to pretend to brush Baby Shark's teeth. It's very exciting. So just another example of how you can take something you might have at home and use it with your storybooks. One thing I did want to point out was that books can be very expensive, especially board books, which are really ideal for toddlers because it's easy for them to turn the pages of a board book. So I always encourage families to take advantage of their local library. You can always borrow books. And if you're concerned, I know some parents, they're concerned about borrowing books from the library, just in case their child's going to be too rough with the books and then worrying about replacing them. I also encourage families to go to secondhand stores. I think 95% of my kids' books are actually from secondhand stores, and they usually always have classics. I usually always see this guy there. Hungry Caterpillar is almost always at the secondhand store, so just keep that in mind. It can be a great option. And remember, I don't want you to be discouraged if your child doesn't finish the story or if they kind of lose interest and walk away from the storybook. It's okay. It's not deemed a success if they finish the book. What the goal is that you'll share the book together and kind of build on it. They might be interested only in a couple pages, and then maybe as you read the book more, they might want to finish more of the story. Just remember, the goal isn't to finish the story. The goal is to share the book together, have a great interaction, and hopefully really start developing a love of books. Thanks so much for watching, and if you ever have questions about your child's speech and language, feel free to give us a call or visit us online at connectwithus.ca. Thanks for watching, and thanks for connecting with us.